Hello everybody. Today we're going to be going over another Knowing Evil video. This one's on the topic of money, materialism, and anti-materialism as well. And I want to put up a disclaimer that we're going to be going over Fight Club, the movie Fight Club, and we're going to be spoiling it a little bit. If you haven't seen it and you want to, you should go see it and then come back to the video. And you should bear in mind there's a little foul language in there, and it's not a very Christian movie, but there will be foul language in this video because of that. We're going to start with Acts 17:11. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. They say that money is the root of all evil. In 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. I did eventually get through that. The most popular story about money. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar, or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness, and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, Who is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. When they had heard these words, they marveled, and left him, and went their way. So what's going on here is the Pharisees are asking Jesus in Matthew 22:17 through 22 whether or not they should pay taxes to Caesar. And he says, because it's Caesar's money, you give him what he says. But if Caesar tries to get in the way of God and what he tells you to do, you do first what is ultimately God's, what he wants you to do. How should we act when we have a lot of money? And Jesus said unto him, Why callest thou me good? None is good, save one that is God. Thou knowest the commandments, do not kill, and do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother. And he said, All these things have I kept from my youth up. Now when Jesus heard these things, he said unto him, Yet lackest thou one thing. Sell all that thou hast, and distribute unto the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come, follow me. And when he heard this, he was very sorrowful, for he was rich. So what's going on here is a young man saying to Jesus that he wants to follow him and have a relationship with God. And he asks, what should I be doing? Jesus says, since you've kept the commandments, you should sell everything you have and follow me. But the young man ultimately decides not to do that. Use your money and commit it to ministry. Donate, create a ministry, help others with your excess. You know in your heart the best ways to use your money and the best ways to help those around you. The Son of God clears out the money changers. When it was almost time for the Jewish Passover, Jesus went up to Jerusalem. In the temple courts he found people selling cattle, sheep, and doves, and others sitting at the table exchanging money. So he made a whip out of cords and drove all from the temple courts, both sheep and cattle. He scattered the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. To those who sold doves he said, Get these out of here. Stop turning my Father's house into a market. His disciples remembered that it is written, Zeal for your house will consume me. The Jews then responded to him, "What sign can you show us to prove your authority to do all this?" Jesus answered them, "Destroy this temple, and I will raise it again in 3 days." So in this story, they're making a market out of the outside court of the temple, and Jesus has to drive them out, and we'll go over that a little bit later. But you're not in trouble because you own money. Some think you need to be poor in order to be saved, because Christ threw out the money changers and told the young man to give up everything he had to follow him. And what they don't understand is there are very special circumstances involved in the specific requests of these people. For example, the young man wanted to follow Christ, and he was holding on to his wealth too strongly to do so. You don't have to give up all that you have. Christ knew that this young man would not give up his wealth. Give what you can. God doesn't want you to be poor so that you're homeless. He wants you to use what you have to help people in those same positions. The money changers. The money changers were in trouble, not just because of what they were doing, but where they were doing it. They went to the one place in the temple that allowed the Gentiles and used it as a marketplace to sell sacrifices, often at upcharged prices. God's works are not a market, and we are not selling religion. The most important thing to remember is this verse, Matthew 6:19 through 20. "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven." Also remember that you're expected to take care of your family. "But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel." Best way to do this is with money. And that first line there is 1 Timothy 5:8. Money often leads to coveting and pride, which are the two sins committed by Satan prior to his fall. Satan coveted the position of God, saying he'd become like him, and had the pride in himself to think that he was worthy of it. Love of money will lead to great evil, possibly in our lifetime. I'm talking about Revelation 13:16 through 18, which gives us a description of the mark of the beast. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. Financial collapse. Many people, even Christians, hope for the collapse of the financial structure so they can become part of a tribe. The best example of this is in the movie Fight Club, when Tyler Durden and the narrator Jack prepare for the destruction of the credit system. The problem with this is also showcased in the movie. Tyler Durden is a cult leader, and in looking for an alternative to our modern day problems, the members of the club plan to not only destroy the financial system, but everything material. They are filled with hate, and it will lead to them not being able to have relationships, families, or a relationship with God. Not that Tyler wants any of those things. When you become disinterested in all things material, you should be aware it often leads to you being disinterested in all things, even spiritual and psychological necessities. Just because the financial system is an obvious scam doesn't mean you have to be jaded, which is why I used Fight Club as an example. Tyler could have protected his heart had he believed in Christ and understood the role he had to play. This is a quote from Tyler Durden. It says, "You are not special. You're not a beautiful and unique snowflake. You're the same decaying organic matter as everything else. We're all part of the same compost heap. We're all singing, all dancing, crap of the world. When you're anti-materialist without God, you will often share the same attitude as Tyler in this movie. It's dangerous, and it can lead to you getting hurt, as well as others. In conclusion, beware love of money. Don't worry too much about what you will have at the end of your life, and any money God needs you to have, He will give to you, so you can help others. Avoid obsessing with materialism, but don't become so jaded you want everyone to die and want to destroy everything around you. As always, put God at the center of your life. And I wanted to suggest some good books to read over, and they're not necessarily specifically about this topic, but I just have them and thought I'd suggest them. First one is involving this topic. It's Industrial Society and Its Future. It's by Ted Kaczynski. He's an important read because he was very anti-materialist. He went off into the woods to be by himself, and he blew up a whole lot of innocent people and even tried to blow up a plane. He's a terrorist and an awful guy, and I see a lot of people defending him nowadays because what he wrote was true. It's come true, the things that he's written, almost all of them. But he killed people to do it, and that's not a good thing. The next book I'm going to suggest is Man of God by Charles F. Stanley. Hopefully you can see that. It says, leading your family by allowing God to lead you. And I think that it's just a good book for keeping yourself psychologically healthy and understanding your role if you're a man, I suppose. I don't really have any books like that for women because I'm just not a woman. But this is a good one for everyone. This one's Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. It's a very popular Christian book. I don't even feel like I have to introduce it to you, but in case you're wanting something to read. That's all I have for you today. Have a good rest of your day.